Welcome to this tutorial on allocation strategies in DaVinciGraph SnapShot Service. In this video, we'll explain the different ways you can allocate tokens to filtered accounts. Allocation is a key feature in Snapshot Service that lets you decide how tokens will be assigned to specific accounts that meet your filter rules. It's important to note that this service doesn't distribute tokens. It only allocates them. This means it defines how much each account should receive based on your strategy. Allocations are the main feature that sets our service apart from other snapshot services in Web3. The unique aspect of our snapshots allocations is that the allocation happens immediately after accounts are filtered, based on predefined strategies without any manual intervention. This feature, combined with storing the snapshot on Arweave and making it public, ensures full transparency. Whether the snapshot is for airdrops or buy allowances, the snapshot, taken before the actual distribution, provides clarity on how the eligible accounts were selected and how they received their allocations. At the moment, there are 4 allocation strategies in our service, each giving you flexibility in how to assign tokens to accounts. Let's go over each one in detail. Let's start with the simplest allocation strategy, fixed allocation. In this strategy, you define a fixed amount of tokens that every filtered account will receive, regardless of how much of the token they hold. Here's how it works. You select the token you want to allocate. For example, if you choose DaVinci tokens and set the amount to 5, every filtered account will receive exactly 5 DaVinci tokens. No more, no less. This is ideal when you have at least an estimate of the number of filtered accounts and want to give everyone the same amount, such as in an airdrop where all eligible participants get equal shares. Next, we have direct equation, a more flexible strategy. This strategy lets you define specific rules where an amount of 1 or more tokens equals an amount of the target token. This is particularly useful when you want to create relationships between different tokens and you have a clear understanding of the supply of the source tokens. For example, you can set a rule where 100 DaVinci tokens equals 1 sauce token. This means that for every 100 DaVinci tokens an account holds, they'll be allocated 1 sauce token. You can also define compound rules, where multiple tokens are required to meet a condition. For instance, 1 dead pixel NFT plus 100 pack equals 10 sauce tokens. This means for each combination of 1 dead pixel NFT and 100 pack tokens that a filtered account holds, it receives 10 sauce tokens. You can define up to 10 rules like this. Additionally, there's an exclusive compound option, which ensures that balances used in a compound rule aren't counted again in subsequent rules. This prevents double counting when you have complex rules. Next, we have the proportional allocation strategy, which is similar to direct equation, but works by assigning shares instead of a fixed amount. Here's how it works. In proportional allocation, you first specify the total amount you want to allocate to the accounts, and then you create rules that determine how many shares an account earns based on the tokens they hold. For example, you might define 1 DaVinci plus 1 sauce token equals 2 shares. 100 DaVinci tokens equals 1 share. This means an account earns shares based on the tokens they hold. Once all the shares are calculated for all filtered accounts, our service divides the total amount proportionally based on the shares each account holds. Like the direct equation strategy, there's an exclusive compound option, which ensures that balances used in a compound rule aren't counted again in the next rules, preventing double counting in complex rules. This strategy is useful when you don't know the supply of the source tokens but have a fixed amount of the target token to distribute. Finally, we have dynamic allocation, which allocates tokens based on the balance of another token, referred to as the base token. This strategy is perfect when you want to allocate based on an account's holdings of a particular token. For example, you can allocate 10,000 DaVinci tokens based on how much sauce each account holds. The more sauce tokens an account holds, the more DaVinci tokens they will receive from the allocation. Additionally, there's a max balance threshold you can set. This ensures that accounts with very large balances don't receive disproportionately large allocations. For instance, if you set the threshold to 100 sauce tokens, Any account with more than 100 sauce tokens will only be counted as having 100. I should mention that you can exclude specific account IDs from receiving allocations for each strategy with a limit of up to 100 accounts. This feature is especially useful for excluding contract addresses or token administrator accounts. Now that we've covered the 4 strategies, let's move on to the UI to see how to set up these strategies step by step. We begin by selecting a token that we want to allocate to the filtered accounts. To do that, we click on the Select a Token button. As you can see, there is only HBAR in the list, and that's because HBAR is by default available for allocation. For other tokens to be available, you should add them in the token section first. For now, we'll just select HBAR. The next step is to decide which strategy we want to use for allocating the HBAR. By clicking on Select an Allocation Strategy, the list of strategies will appear. We'll start with the Fixed Allocation Strategy. When you choose a strategy for a token to allocate, a form opens. All strategy forms have a title, save, and discard button in common. For the Fixed Allocation Strategy form, we add an appropriate title and enter an amount. We'll enter 1 and save the strategy. This way, we have created our first allocation strategy, which will allocate 1 HBAR to every filtered account. For the next strategies, I'll use our official DaVinciGraph NFT airdrop, as it captures the use of direct and proportional allocation very well. For that, we must choose the DaVinci token and the DaVinciGraph utility NFT collections. After that, we click on the Add Another Token Allocation button. We select DaVinci token as the target token and select Direct Equation as the strategy. We enter the title. Then we define the rules, which, as you remember, involve equating an amount of 1 or more tokens to an amount of the target token. We define 3 simple rules. For this strategy, I'm not going to define a compound rule. We'll see how those can be defined in proportional allocations. After that, we save the strategy. Next, we click on the Add Another Strategy button, and from the menu, we pick Proportional Allocation. We enter the title. Here, we enter 500 thousands for the total amount. This is the amount that we will later airdrop, and we want it to be allocated to the filtered accounts. Then, we add the rules. I define a compound rule here. After adding the first token amount, I hover over the space before the equal sign and click on the AND sign button. As you can see, I can now add another token amount. This way, I can easily create compound rules. When I finish defining all the rules, I save the strategy. Now, as you can see, the strategy is marked as exclusive compound by default, which, if you remember, means that the balances of accounts counted in the compound rules won't be counted again in the subsequent rules. This gives priority to the compound rules. If you want to disable exclusive compound for the strategy, you can click on the Edit button and remove the checkmark from the option. For the last strategy, let's pick another token. I add the GRELF token in the token section and select it as a new token for allocation. Then I select Dynamic Allocation for the strategy. I enter the title and set the total amount of the target token. I enter 500,000. Now for the base token, I can choose any other token, but I'll select GRELF. So the GRELF amount will be allocated to the filtered accounts based on the amount of GRELF tokens they already hold. Let's save the strategy. This strategy can be tricky because some holders may have such large token balances that they could receive the majority of the allocation. To prevent this, we can set a max balance threshold, which allows us to cap the balance of the holders. For example, if I set it to 10, it means that all account balances above 10 will be considered as 10 for the allocation. And that's it. You've now learned how to define and set up allocation strategies for snapshots, from fixed allocations to more advanced strategies like direct equation, proportional allocation, and dynamic allocation. By mastering these strategies, you can customize token allocations to meet your specific needs. Thanks for watching.